What's up, people? So, yesterday I made a video about what the steps are to building wealth, and the first obvious one is to track your spending so that you can cut down on your spending. And what you're probably wondering or not wondering is, how do you track your spending? And the problem is that most people pay cash for everything, or pay with a credit card, or pay however you want, and at the end of the month, it's just gone. No one goes through it. No one looks at what they spent money on, where they spent money, and was it necessary. So most people don't really have a good idea of what they spend and where they spend it. So the main issue that I have with that is never pay cash, because you can never go back and look at what you spend money on. You never, like, unless you keep all of your receipts, you can never track where exactly you spent money and how much did you spend there. If you do keep the receipts, you actually need to go through them, but that would be a good way to go through your spending and see what you can cut down on. But that also means that literally every dollar that you spend, you need to get a receipt, and you need to save the receipt, and you need to keep track of what you spend and where. So the easier way is to never pay cash. So you always have a paper trail. If you pay by check, if you pay with a debit card, if you pay with a credit card, you either get a bank statement or you get a credit card statement that tells you which store you spent money on, which restaurant, gas station, bills, anything. So at the end of the month, you need to go through, you need to keep track of every fixed bill that you have, all the variable spending, how much are you spending on gas or food or entertainment or whatever else. And the main thing is you need to go through everything, write everything down, have a good idea of what all your fixed bills are and what your variable spending is. So after you write everything down, make sure you have a sum of all the fixed bills you have, and include, what I would do is include the highest utility bill that you have ever had. So let's say your utility bill is on average $150, but during the hottest month it gets up to $180. Make sure you write down that you need $180 for utilities every month. Write down what your car payment is, what your rent or mortgage, your insurance, your cable bill, your cell phone bill. Have a sum of all that so that you know how much do you have in fixed spending every month. Because if you ever cut down on that, you're going to have to pay late fees, you're going to have to pay probably other charges. So make sure you have a good idea of all the fixed bills that you have, and from there you keep track of all the variable spending you have, which store you spend money on, what you spend money on. Is it entertainment, is it food, is it gas, is it other transportation expenses? All that, you need to categorize that, you need to keep track of that, so that eventually you can go through and you can decide whether or not you needed to spend that money. Obviously, spending money on gas to get to work, get from work, all of that is absolutely necessary. Getting food every day, absolutely necessary. Buying 25 computer games every month, probably not necessary, but that's something you need to decide. You just need to have a good idea of what your income is, what your spending is, and how much you can afford to spend. And from there, you need to decide every single thing. Is it necessary? Is it not necessary? And maybe make changes to reduce the spending that you have.